I rarely make messages exclusively for libertarians, but this is for that small group of you, really the very small group called delegates to the Libertarian Convention, and really the even smaller group of those who've put their names in contention for the presidency. And when they're asked about vice president, we get answers all over the place. Here's the answer I think every one of you should give. Every one of you. And I say this because we have the best group of presidential contenders in my lifetime. It's not even close, okay? I've been following this since 1996. It's not even close. So, because campaigning may be as influential as governing, and look, if we don't win, campaigning is 100% more influential than governing because we aren't going to get a chance. But we do have a chance in a campaign, so double it. Okay, every one of you should be a fervent VP campaigner. And I'll go beyond that. I hope every one of you is willing to be nominated for whoever we select as presidential nominee for his or her cabinet. Let the American people see really good people armed with really good ideas who would serve for 4 years in different capacities. And in the process, every one of you who are named add cred to what might be a winning governor campaign 2 years later, or a winning state senate campaign, even in 2020. It's doable. You can run for both. So, even though a pairing might seem unconventional, okay, Amash and Jacob, do it, okay? It's not a partnership. It's a pairing. And I'll get to why a pairing is more powerful than a liking in the first place. Look, we have candidates, Joe, Jim, want to marginally improve our system. If Adam is selected, who wants to destroy the system, go for it, okay? Because you have voices in the same direction who are better than Trump and better than Biden. They're in the same direction enough for now that we, by being empowered, elevate everyone to move in that direction. And if we start to coalesce around a more honed party, good for us. And good for the country. One more pairing. One more pairing. The possibility of John McAfee. Way out there, right? And Sam Robb. Okay? Pro-life Sam Robb. If they could be paired up, we should be fine with it. We should be fine with it. And here is why. The vice president has a very different duty. And we, as libertarians, should respect separation of powers as intended. What's the vice president's job, if elected? Is to preside over the Senate. The Senate, which I think needs more reform than the presidency, is really influential if curtailed in its unconstitutional laws, in its domestic spending. A good VP doesn't have to coincide with his or her president, and still is making huge progress. 95 years ago, we had that kind of pairing. Very libertarian, Charles Dawes presided over the Senate. Yes, he was Calvin Coolidge's vice president. They almost never met. Okay? Dawes refused to attend cabinet meetings. They had, I believe, 2 appearances together in 4 years. Because of a respect for separation of powers. We can adopt that same respect. Right now, we're a narrow party, okay? 3%, and within our 3%, we have this colossally wide spectrum from anarchy to Republican light. It's okay, because even Republican light is better than Biden and triumphs over Trump. Okay, we should be, our spectrum, put into the American public's spectrum, and we do that with a multitude of candidates. President who's fervent, vice president candidate who's fervent, and 83 nominees for judicial and executive posts. And yes, we might have 3, 4, 5 on a cabinet post that probably deserves more than just one person. I mean, the HHS job, even if you want to slim it in the next 4 years, as I do, you know, one person can't do that. Name 4. I implore the nominee to be eager to accept any VP from among the contenders now. And you who are contenders for Prez, be eager to accept if you're nominated for VP with any of the contenders now. I'm Mark Stewart.